It's the midweek edition of TVC Breakfast. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Veronica Dan Ikboy. I'm not here alone. I have Mike Okwache. Mike.
Great morning.
Good morning.
It's good to be here. Good morning.
Absolutely. You made it despite the
exactly. There was some kind of traffic, but I was looking at, am I going to make this thing? But anyway,
you are
we
here
got somewhere, and it was noticed that a truck broke down in a narrow area and all of that. So, but when I got there, it was free all the way. So
right,
it's good.
Now, just some sad news this morning that we have to talk about, a developing story. A boat capsized, about 103 persons returning from a wedding ceremony in Niger State. They were heading back to Kwara State when their boat capsized around Patigi in Kwara State. And that's some visual there. And it was said that these persons that died included a father and 4 of his children. Unfortunately, these families have been thrown into mourning, but some corpses have been recovered, talking about 50 corpses have been recovered. About 217 persons were said to be on that boat. And so far, search and rescue operations are still ongoing. And it is said that the cause of the incident was as a result of overloading and turbulent.
Yeah, the point there is this is not the first time boats are loaded this way. It's a thing they do. However, the tragedy, we've not had a tragedy of this nature recently from that area. But if you recall that parts of Enugu State, there has been boat capsized at a time. In parts of Kogi State, in Benue, we've had these issues here and there.
Even in Lagos.
Even in Lagos, So it's really sad. The safety, they need to be. If you see what Lagos State is doing with water transportation, being intentional to create some level of regulation and all of that, then it tells you that. The caution needs to be put in place for safety on the waters. Now, we know that that's these people's mode of transportation over the years, so they're used to it that way. But sometimes they take,
they throw
caution to the wind, and then whatever would happen happens that way. It's obvious for any kind of boat. So it's not a cruise ship for you to have 270 people.
Persons.
In fact, over 200 people on board. If it's a cruise ship, of course, you know that there are some cruise ships that can take about 1,000 people or 500 people, depending on whatever the thing is. But any of this kind of local boats that's to have 200 and something people on the ship or on the boat, it's obviously too much. And it was just, I believe, since they were all coming from a wedding, it was the issue of, okay, we are all community people. Let's just go together. That communal thing. That communal thing. To say, okay, let's go together. This person's son, this one's daughter. Join us. Let's just go together. Instead of going and coming again, let's just go together. And here we are. It's really a sad situation. And if you see the impact of the way people are responding to this, because we've been hearing people's comments from across the nation. It's not only Kwara State that is mourning this, it's the entire nation.
Absolutely.
Because having over 100 people die, I know it's a terrible situation.
And perhaps they didn't also put into consideration the water levels that has risen as a result of the rains at this time. And that is also another matter that most of these persons, in terms of regulation, has to be put in place. You know that in the rainy season, the water levels are high.
It rises,
It rises, and so you have to take caution. We do not also know if they had safety jackets on, which is also another measure that has to be put in place.
If they had safety jackets on, everyone, we wouldn't have had that number of casualty on this issue. It is obvious that they didn't have all of those. But this is a wake-up call to not just Kwara State, but to all the states that have waterways around their territories to be intentional about these things so that they can avert any kind of calamities of this kind.
Yes.
Really sad.
All right.